All right, timer is at 0. Let's go ahead and get started because I'm going to build a course from scratch in an industry that I know nothing about using 100% AI. So let's go ahead and dive into that. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to build that and you guys are going to see the results of that in just a moment. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jim Gregory, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how I use AI to create a course in under 22 minutes. If this is your first time here, congratulations on finding me. What we do on this channel is I show you how to take that massive audience that you've created, whether that be on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or an email list, and turn that into millions of dollars in sales using digital products. Now, just to be clear, I'm not making any income claims. I have no idea how much money you're going to make, right? I don't know you. I don't know your offer. I don't know your audience. I don't know what you've been doing. When I talk about results or when I talk about income generated, that is specifically from me working behind the scenes to help creators and influencers launch their own digital products. So most of the time where I say this offer or this course or this digital product made X, that is a course or program that I created for an influencer or celebrity, and they generated that revenue. So full transparency, sometimes if it's my course, I'll say, hey, this was my own actual course with my face on it, or I created, or this is one that I created for an influencer. Either way, all of the lessons handed down here are principles, strategies, and tactics that I've learned that I'm going to share with you through my YouTube channel. And so welcome. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and let's dive straight in. Now, while that builds in the background, why courses? And you're going to hear me talk about this all the time. In my opinion, courses are the holy grail when it comes to selling online. You've got no overhead. It's infinitely scalable. You build it once and you can sell forever, and you don't need a big team required to launch or run a course business. And I've tried and ran businesses in almost every single area of making money online. Coaching, consulting, great for generating revenue quickly. That's when you are, selling selling your expertise as a coach or consulting, 5, 10, 15 grand packages. Really good for generating income quickly and getting to that 20 or 30K month mark. But what nobody tells you is that trying to scale a coaching consulting business is an absolute nightmare, right? There are so many moving parts. You've got to be doing sales calls, or you've got to have coaching calls. You have to have coaching clients. Like, there's a lot of operational drag that comes in growing those businesses. Ecom. I have my own e-commerce brands. I've invested in e-commerce brands. I ran e-commerce brands. I know ecom inside and out. Most e-commerce businesses, if you're lucky, you're going to be getting 15 to 20% margins. And it takes a lot of time and effort to running a successful e-commerce business. Like, if you're running e-com, your best bet is to try and grow something to get it acquired by a private equity firm or some retailer, because as a source of generating income, it ain't that good. And then agency work, where you provide a done-for-you service to typically businesses or sometimes individuals as well. I grew my agency to 16 people and over 7 figures in revenue, and it burnt me out. I was doing 14-hour days, never saw my kids. It was terrible. I hated it. And so when I look at all those business models, courses has all the upsides, but with none of the downsides. Now, there's two main problems when it comes to building digital courses. The first one is time, right? It used to take a long time to create a course. You had to come up with your course idea, then you had to design it with AI, then you had to go and record all the modules, and then you had to edit all the modules, you had to film it, then you had to upload it, and the whole thing, in some cases, could take you months at a time. As I'm going to show you, with AI, you can take what used to take months and have it done in a matter of minutes. The second thing, and probably more important for most of you watching this, is the quality of the course. Because you can get AI to create a course, but is it going to be any good? And when you spend time building your brand reputation, when you spend time building your influence online, you don't want to launch a course and people go, oh, this is just a piece of crap, or this isn't any good, or this is just like everybody else's course. And a lot of the time with AI, that's what you're going to get. And so before I show you what I've actually created with the AI, I want to break down real quick what actually goes into $1 million courses. Because there's 4 things you want to pay attention to when it comes to building a course, so that you know the product you're putting out matches the level of influence that you've developed. So the first thing is you want to solve the right problem. Okay, this is huge. I remember I launched a course called The Social Blueprint, and it was in a men's lifestyle and dating niche. And the premise of the course was that all of the other courses out there were teaching guys about how to, go get a girl's phone number, how to approach girls, how to run around the street like a lunatic, and try and find a girl to date. And the premise of The Social Blueprint was, hey, if you have a really good lifestyle and if you have a really good social circle, then all of the girls will come to you. And it made sense, right? It would get the guys the result that they wanted. But the problem with that is that that course didn't solve the primary problem. The primary problem that all of those guys had was that I'm getting rejected, okay? Or I can't even get, I don't know what to say to her. That was the primary problem. I don't want to get rejected, or I have the fear of rejection. So any course that didn't really tackle that primary problem, or any offer of a course that didn't tackle that primary problem, wasn't ever going to do that well. So once I learned that, I launched a brand new offer in the same market to the same people, but this time it was called the Texting Blueprint. 7 texts to send that guarantees she begs you for a date. All right, much clearer and solving the primary problem. Send these texts from your phone and it will guarantee that she begs you for a date. Social Blueprint did pretty well, 6 figures in revenue. The Texting Blueprint was a springboard for that entire suite of courses, doing $13 million in 5 years. And all I did was take the primary problem, guys don't want to get rejected, and focus that on the course. And so the thing about $1 million courses is that they have to solve the primary problem. You will make money if it doesn't solve the primary problem, but every single market, every single audience, every single niche have one problem that's more impactful than anything else. They have one thing that dominates their thinking more than anything else. And if you sell that thing, that's going to make you a ton of money. The second thing is easy consumption. This is huge, right? You want to make your course easy to consume. Nobody wants to sit through hours and hours and hours of video, even if your course is expensive. One of the most expensive courses that I've ever bought. This was a do-it-yourself course that helped seven-figure entrepreneurs manage their finances, right? It was all about how to set up your financial operations as a seven-figure entrepreneur so that you can pay the least amount of tax and so that you don't get in trouble and so that you can have cash flow to invest in other things, right? That was the premise of the course. It was 100% do-it-yourself. There was no coaching, no consulting, and it was multiple thousands of dollars for this course. The entire thing was about 2 hours long, right? Every single video was 10 to 15 minutes, but it was short, it was sharp, it was concise, it got me the information I needed, and it was one of the best investments that I ever made. I understand the tendency to think, well, if I put more in it, it's going to be better. That's not what we want. We don't. More isn't necessarily better. You want to get people from A to B to solve their problem with as little information as possible. The quicker that you can do that, the little amount of time that you have them watching video, and the more amount of time you have them implementing, the better the course will be. So easy consumption is really important, because if you have a course that is too hard to consume and people don't consume it and don't finish it, then they're not going to get the results. They're not going to get the results. They're not going to say how amazing you are, and they're not going to sing your praises, and your course empire isn't going to grow. So it's really important that we have easy consumption. The third thing is transformation over information. And I'm going to come back to this one in a second, right? Your courses need to provide an actual transformation for the people going through the course. And this is where the nuance between AI comes into. Because what AI is going to do, AI is going to filter out the good versus the bad, right? And what I mean by that is that you can go to AI right now, ChatGPT, Claude, any AI platform that you use, Grok, you can go and you can get information, right? If all your course does is give someone information, then you're going to be out of business in a couple of years, because you could be out of business by the end of the year. People figure out how to ask AI the right questions, because AI can give you that information. Okay. And I know this from firsthand, because I went to AI and I decided, I want to get into really, really good shape. I wanted to be in the best physical version of myself. Gave ChatGPT my measurements, my body fat percentage, my weight, my height, my age, what I eat, and it gave me a meal plan. It gave me a meal plan and it gave me a training plan. How well do you think I did on that training plan and on that meal plan? Right? This is completely free. Didn't do that well. Could barely, stuck to it for a couple of months because, I'm a pretty disciplined person, but didn't really get the transformation that I wanted. I went and joined a live coaching group of people that do these workouts together, and very little information there, but you work out with the individuals. Every week there's a WhatsApp group that you track your food with, you track your training, you track your methods, you track everything, but there is a group that works together, accountability. So real human interaction. Within the first 60 days of working in that group, I had more results and lost more weight and lost more body fat and generated more muscle, and my lifts went up faster than I ever could with AI, right? The difference is the transformation. AI is not going to give you that transformation, but an actual individual, a human personal connection will. And so when you build your courses and you focus on transformation, that is what separates you from everybody else. And that's what's going to separate you from AI garbage, which is what most people make. And so we're going to come back to that specifically when I show you what we built. But it's all about ensuring that your courses transform the person from the state they're in right now to the state they want to be. Because people buy courses for transformation, right? Every single good course, every world-class course, every $1 million course gives you a better version of X, better version of your lifestyle, better version of your finances, better version of your business, better version of your marriage, better version of your dating skills, right? That is what it does. It gives you a better version. Information alone doesn't do that. So you want your course to understand where your audience is, understand where they're trying to get to, which is the primary problem. Okay, understand where they're trying to get to, and then provide the bridge for them getting there, provide that transformation. And then finally, the fourth thing, which is pretty advanced, okay, is you want to solve one problem, create another. Now, this is the stuff that people don't tell you unless they've got the experience of actually doing this. The most important thing you can do for your course business, right? I'm talking to you about launching a digital product, but you want to take that digital product and you want to create a course empire, right? That's what you want in the end, eventually. Because if you think about it, ultimately the most successful businesses are the ones that have lots of repeat customers, people that keep coming back to them. So it's not just a case of what you can sell them today, it's about getting a customer, getting a relationship for life with that individual where that customer becomes a renewable financial resource. And when you can do that, that essentially means that you will never have any money problems again, right? You basically just wave a wand and create money when you want. It's your ultimate ticket to wealth. But to do that, that individual has to keep coming back to you to buy more courses. So you need to create more courses. The best way to create more courses and create more courses that people want is that every single course that you create solves one problem, but naturally creates another problem. Let me show you an example, right? Using my texting course, right? So texting blueprint. What problem does that solve? Well, you got the girl's number. Now here's what you text to get a date. Okay. Well, now they can get a date. What's the first thing they're going to ask? Chin. What do I say on a date? How do I set up a date? How do I give her the best date of her life? How do I go on a date in a way that makes her think that I'm an awesome guy and she wants to keep seeing me? Okay, so now I've got the dating blueprint. All right. So after selling the dating blueprint, they might ask for the girlfriend blueprint. Well, I've been going on a date with this girl. It's great. Thank you for solving that problem. But now I want a girlfriend, right? How do I go from 1 to 2 dates to transitioning into a girlfriend, right? How do I go from I'm going on a couple of dates here and there, but I can't seem to get any girls to go on the fifth date or the sixth date? Oh, great. Well, now you can buy the girlfriend product. Great. They buy the girlfriend product. Then the next product is the wife product. All right. They know how to get a girlfriend, but they can't keep a girlfriend, right? They maybe have a relationship for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. They're like, hey, Chin, this is going really well. I'm getting girls, but I want to get married someday. How do I, A, decide which type of woman I want to marry, or B, show her I'm the type of man that she wants to be loyal to and spend the rest of her life with? Fantastic. So here's the wife product. They buy the wife product. And then you've got the marriage product, right? Right? You can see what I'm doing here. Now, okay, well, things aren't going well in my marriage. We're not talking properly. We feel like we're strangers. We're not having sex. All of the problems that marriages can run into. Well, now you create a marriage product and you say, well, guess what, guess what, Mike? I've got a marriage product for you, right? I can help you solve all of your marriage problems, and so on and so forth. And then you can spin that off into, raising awesome children. Okay, you can spin this off and you can go in many different directions. But the point is, every product, every course that you create, right? And this is what all the multi-million most successful digital product owners do. And this is what I do with my influencer clients, my celebrity clients, when we're building courses for their audiences. We look at the entire customer journey. What does somebody do from day one all the way to the end? Like, what does that customer journey look like? What are all the milestones on that journey? Let us create a course for every single milestone. But the way that we do that is that the course solves a very specific problem, but by solving that problem, it creates a new problem, right? Every problem you solve creates another problem. And when you do that, they automatically think, hey, you just solved my problem. I've got this new problem, which is a good thing, right? Because they solved their problem. And I trust you because you just solved my previous problem. I want to give you more money to create a new course for me. I want to give you more money to buy another course to solve that additional problem. This is how I was able to generate $13 million from the texting blueprint over the course of 5 years. At the end of that 5 year period, I had 21 different products. At pretty much any part of that guy's journey, he could buy one of my products, right? He could come into my course ecosystem. He could buy one of those courses, solve his problem, but there was already another course ready for him to buy the next thing. Some people would buy it straight away. Some people might come back a month later, but having this ecosystem is really important. Now, you're not going to have the ecosystem from day one, right? I'm not saying that, but build your courses in such a way that every time it solves a problem, it creates another problem for them to solve. That is how I'm able to create course portfolios and course catalogs that generate millions of dollars, where people try and figure out, well, what is he actually doing? And they just see one course and they're like, no, there's no way that you made $13 million off that one course. Well, you don't see what's happening on the back end, right? And that's by design because people are always going to try and copy you. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting off topic. Quick recap. What goes into a successful $1 million course? Solve the right problem, make it easy to consume, focus on transformation, not information, and solve one problem and create another. Those four things, you do those four things, you will always have successful $1 million courses. Okay, so it has been, stop this right now. It has been 20, can you guys see that? 20 minutes, 15 seconds, and 53 milliseconds. Let's have a look at what we have built. I'm going to walk you through the exact prompt that I used. This is a custom chat GPT that I built in order to help me create courses when I do this for my clients. But I've got a demo for you here. And if you want access to the demo that I'm using, look below the video in the description. I'll give you guys access to that. So it's not going to be the full version, but you'll get a good sense of what it's able to do. So I decided I was going to build a course to help busy moms who have challenging children with ADHD. Like, I don't have any kids with ADHD. Well, my son might have ADHD the way that he carries on, but I don't know anything about this industry, this niche. It's not something that I'm familiar with. So I plug this into the prompt, gives me a quick answer there, and it asks me if it wants to build defaults or do I have, or I want to give them some real client information first. And just for the purposes of this video, I asked it to use the defaults, please. So based on those defaults, it gives me a promise pack, quick wins, so the 5 to 7 micro transformations. Remember, right? That's what we want in a course that actually works. Actual transformation, not just information transformation. So even when you're using ChatGPT, even when you're using AI, what most people do is they will just pull out information, right? But that's not what's going to get you the impact that you want with your customers. That's not what is going to get you the asset of that digital product that you want. You want to be able to give your clients and your customers a transformation. So it pulls out the transformations, then it highlights a course skeleton, module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4. And so, again, for the purposes of this, I'm not building out the entire thing. Well, I'm building out most of it, but I would have a little bit more steps in this if I was doing this for a client. But I said, hey, give me the full outline in bullet form from module 1, lesson 1. So it gives me the full outline. Okay. Uh, Prompt instructions for the course thumbnails. It gives me that. I didn't want any text overlay, so I said no text overlay. And then we'll get to the conversion blueprint in a sec. But essentially what I did is I took, and you do this for every single module, I took the module plan and I plugged it into an app called Gamma. All right. Gamma is an AI app that can take your information and turn it into really, really cool slides. Did that, I created the slides, and here is what we've got. Okay, so after creating the slides, I have a course building software which I use to host all of my video courses, right? So there's lots of different ones. There's Kajabi, I use Go High Level, there's WAP, which is a really good one. There's lots of different ones, there's Circle. Really depends on what your needs are. But the quickest one, and to get things up and down quickly, I'm using a custom one I have called Go High Level. And all of these images were created by AI. So here we've got the ADHD Mum Survival System. So let's go ahead and start course. And you can see here, module 1, all right, the calm the storm at home. And you can see here on the right, you've got, the 5 module course, calm the storm at home, boost ADHD focus naturally, mum energy reset, lasting peace and progress, and then what's next. And I don't have a kid with ADHD, but this looks pretty good, right? This is the bones of a pretty good course. And when I do this with an influencer or celebrity who's the subject matter expert, we can collaborate in getting this absolutely right. But this used to take months. Okay, let's just look at some of the stuff that we've got. For parents of children with ADHD, mornings can feel like navigating a hurricane. The constant reminders, emotional meltdowns, and frantic rushing create stress for everyone involved. This presentation offers practical science-based strategies to transform your mornings from chaos to calm, giving both you and your child a more positive start to each day. Understanding the morning challenge, the visual advantage, why pictures trump words, the science behind visual processing, some parental insight, the morning peace formula. Formulas, structures, systems always work really well in courses. Structure plus predictability equals calmer mornings. Creating your visual morning chart, teaching the routine, once not daily, some critical reminders, okay? And then, once someone's gone through it, they can mark and complete the course. So this is a pretty good 5 module course. All that needs to happen at this point is to actually flesh out some of the additional resources and materials. So things like worksheets, spreadsheets, templates, checklists, all those extra things that increase the added value of a course. That's all we would add now. But the actual structure of the course, like, this is good to go. And this used to take months, right? People would spend months doing what I just got ChatGPT and AI to help me do in a very short space of time. And so it's not that we're trying to use AI as a replacement for your expertise, but it's to enhance what you're able to do on your own. The kind of thing that would take you weeks or even months to do previously, we can use AI to do that very, very quickly and to tighten up the edges, right? It's like an enhancement tool. Imagine like an athlete with an exoskeleton. And the athlete was always very good, but you add on an exoskeleton and now they can jump higher, run faster, right? It's that enhancement tool. And that's what we're using AI for. So if you think about what I used AI to do, right? Let's just break it down. I took a niche, I took a problem, I plugged that primary problem into the prompt. The prompt then gave me an outline. I took that outline, I put it into Gamma, and then Gamma created the course. And so now most people get overwhelmed. They try and do too much, but you've got the bare bones of the course now. You've got enough to actually start getting sales. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next video, which I'll come to in just a second. And this is exactly what I do when I work with an influencer or creator to launch a really successful course. Like this is where we start. We do this with AI so that, most of the celebrities or influencers I'm working with, they don't have time to sit around and make a course for 6 months, right? They need, they're off doing what celebrities do. So we need to come in, get everything done really, really quickly and get a course out of them as quickly as possible. And so this is that structure. And we've used this for every single course that I've launched in the last couple of years that's gone on to do, this year we've done over $10 million from different digital products. Again, full transparency, that's not my own product. It's products that I create for influencers and celebrities. And this process is exactly what we do in the NetLife Sprint. The NetLife Sprint is where I take creators who have at least 20,000 followers or subscribers across their social media, and I help them install the same multi-million dollar launch system that I do with my private clients. During the sprint, in just 8 weeks, we'll work together one-on-one to build your own digital product. We'll launch it to your warm audience, collect $30,000 to $50,000 from the launch, and then create an evergreen system that allows that product to sell every single day on autopilot. Now, to make this abundantly clear, this isn't a course where you get handed a bunch of videos, you go into a portal and you got to figure it out on your own, right? This is an implementation program. So we're going to be working together alongside each other to actually build and implement all of these elements. We've got weekly calls where we'll be able to go over the parts of the course that you've built. So whether that's your video sales letter, your offer, your sales material, your market material, your launch material, every single week we'll go over that. But every week we're going to build an element of this digital product business. And by the end of it, you will have your own course that's ready to launch. The next cohort is coming up soon. So if you want more details about that, look below this video. I've left some information in the description. Now, the next video in this series is really cool because I'm going to show you exactly how we get paid before we even create the course. So before we even create the course, we're having customers give us money, which essentially is like paying us to create the course. Pretty cool video. That one's coming up next. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you got value from this video and you're not already subscribed, go ahead, please do so. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you can be updated when we release our next video. My name's Shane Gregory. God bless, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.